Your thumb hovers over the send button. You've already rewritten the message 4 times. Hey to hi. Back to hey again. A period added and deleted. An exclamation point typed and then erased because it looked desperate. 45 seconds have passed. In your head, you've already lived this entire conversation. Their reply, your follow-up, the way it could go wrong, the way it could go right. None of it has happened. The message still hasn't been sent. There's a version of you that exists entirely inside your own head. That version never stumbles. Every pause lands perfectly. Every question arrives at exactly the right moment in exactly the right tone. Has already had this conversation a dozen times, but none of those conversations ever touched another human being. And you, thumb still hovering, know this habit better than anyone. The rewriting, the rehearsing, the branching scripts that run forward 5 steps and backward 3. You've called it shyness, introversion, overthinking. Maybe you've been handed those words your whole life. They're comfortable enough labels, but they never quite explain the exhaustion. The quiet suspicion that other people aren't doing this. The feeling that conversations shouldn't take this much out of you. And then there's the detail that doesn't fit the labels. Because when you're with a friend you've known for 10 years, the one who's seen you ugly cry, who's seen you screw up and didn't leave, you don't rehearse anything. You're sitting across from them in a coffee shop, arguing about something stupid, interrupting each other. Nobody performing. The words come out imperfect, and they're yours, and that's enough. The rehearsal room goes completely quiet. So the real question isn't, why am I like this? It's why does my brain treat some people as conversation partners and other people as security threats? Here's what's actually happening underneath it. Your brain is running a specific protocol. Call it defensive rehearsal. Somewhere along the way it learned that social interaction isn't neutral. It's a space where you can get hurt, misread, judged, talked about later. So before you even speak, your brain scans for threats. Every sentence gets run through a filter. Will this sound stupid? Could this be taken the wrong way? Is there anything in here that might come back on me? The rehearsal isn't practice, it's a security audit. And the audit never finishes. By the time you finally speak, after the editing, after the threat assessment, the person who shows up isn't quite you. It's a sanitized version. The edges sanded off. The warmth that comes from saying something imperfect but real has been swapped out for something safer and colder. You send the message and it's technically fine, but you feel hollow because you didn't send yourself. And when the reply comes back, it lands on the settlement, not on you. So you end up feeling unseen, even while someone is actively responding to you. You protected yourself from judgment, and in the same motion, you protected yourself from being known. Almost everyone who does this thinks they're the only one doing it. You're not alone in the habit. You're just alone while you're inside it. But here's the part that reorders everything you've believed about yourself. This exhausting, isolating habit didn't come from a broken part of you. It came from a part of you that was trying to keep you safe. Somewhere in your history, maybe early, maybe in a place where mistakes had real consequences, you learned that speaking off script could cost you something. Mocked for the wrong sentence, dismissed, ignored at the wrong moment. So your brain, doing exactly what brains are built to do, built a defense. This rehearsal system was never a flaw. It's a loyalty that turned into a burden somewhere along the way. Your brain is still scanning for landmines in a living room. Nobody ever told it the war ended. This isn't the same as saying it's fine that you do this. It's something sharper than that. You've spent years reading this habit as proof that you're weak, or broken, or socially defective, watching other people talk easily and using it as evidence that something in you doesn't work right. But it's the opposite. This habit exists because your brain has been working overtime, protecting you against a danger it learned about a long time ago, using intelligence that's gone stale. It's not weakness. It's a security protocol running on outdated information. You were never incapable of normal conversation. Your threat detection system was just never told it could stand down. So here's a different way to hold it. You don't need to stop rehearsing. You don't need to become someone who says everything perfectly on the first try. The shift isn't in the rehearsing, it's in your relationship to it. Next time your thumb hovers and the mental script starts assembling itself, pause. Not to shut the rehearsal down, just to notice it. There it is, the old guard's gotten up again. And from there you can make one small choice. Not to turn it off forever, just to shorten it by a round. Send the message after 3 rewrites instead of 7. Say the thing before every possible response has been scripted. Not because you should, not because you're supposed to be better at this by now, but because you're testing something. Because some part of you is starting to suspect the room you're walking into isn't actually a war zone. Something shifts when you start seeing it this way. The rehearsal might not stop, but it stops being something you're ashamed of and starts being something you can watch instead. With a little curiosity, instead of contempt. You catch your brain running its old program, and you recognize it for what it is. A loyal, exhausted guard that never learned how to stand down. Most people live their entire lives inside their own defenses without ever once turning to look at them. You just did. You're the one who noticed it running. If this is the first time you've seen your own rehearsal room for what it actually is, this channel is built for exactly that kind of seeing. Subscribe if you want more of it.